Hey, it's me again, make another video. Um, so I went ahead and I actually thought about what to talk about before I started recording, which is I think a first for me. And I want to talk about Pokemon because it's really hot right now. Pokemon Sword and Shield just came out for the Switch. Um, and I'm not getting it, and I don't think I'll get it ever. Um, and I wanted to talk about why. So the last Pokemon games come out. I'm gonna link these together, but they were the Sun and Moon series, and I'm counting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as just like part of the same game. Um, and I got really excited for it. I started falling into fan theories and speculations, and there were a lot of really good ones out there too. Um, Pokemon has been leading up with all this weird symbolism, and people had speculated, not going to name any names here, but people had speculated that this was going to be the start of like a huge reboot for Pokemon, or it was going to have like actual, like, it was going to follow X and Y and have like some kind of ground breaking, like earth shattering story revelation. Now, granted, I know in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon there were some story bits I don't know about Ultra Space and Necrozma. But if anything crazy would have happened, I probably would have known about it, because I was really into that theory stuff. And it just turned out that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or Sun and Moon, because those are the ones I played, it was nothing like that. There was nothing really groundbreaking and earth shattering like I had wanted. The series just, it felt like there was a crescendo that was building up and then it just fell flat. Like, what was the point of all that stuff, like, about the Pokemon War and, like, this, like, earth-shattering machine and, like, multi-world theory with the asteroid and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? What's the point of talking about all that stuff if they're not going to continue it, you know? Now, granted, I don't know if Sword and Shield is going to have any crazy stuff like that with the Dynamax feature, because I know that's powered by shooting stars, I guess. Some sort of astral power. But I was so disappointed by me, trying to be so hyped up for this, and it just turns out that it wasn't worth my time. And it was really annoying. I played Sun and Moon a lot still, and I did enjoy it. There were a lot of cute things that I enjoyed, but anything that I enjoyed in Sun and Moon is just redone in Sword and Shield, and I don't really want to do it a second time. The new Pokemon don't really interest me, and from what I've seen of the game, it just looks as handholdy as Sun and Moon. The gym battles are incredibly easy, just like it's impossible to lose from what I've seen. And I know there's no harder difficulty, and of course there's no Nuzlocke feature because Nintendo would never use someone else's ideas. They would have to commit seppuku, whatever, however you say that. And so yeah, there's just no reason to. I got all the content that I ever could. I got the enjoyment that I would have gotten out of Sword and Shield if I hadn't played Sun and Moon by playing Sun and Moon. So Sword and Shield offers nothing to me. It's not a story that's worth getting into because it doesn't matter. The story, any story in that game, it doesn't matter because it's not like they're gonna do anything with it. I was hoping that they would have done, and I can tell you this too. There was an article that said that the people who make Pokemon are even burnt out by it themselves. That's how I know that this game isn't gonna be good. If your devs don't want to put their all into a project and they don't get excited about its release and they just feel burnt out, that's how you know serialization and Nintendo's safety nets have gone too far. We need a hardcore Pokemon game. I want a Pokemon game that's rated at least T. I don't want any more E-rated Pokemon games. it probably won't never happen, but based on what was happening, they released Let's Go, which was supposed to be for casuals and babies, and it was. And there's nothing satisfying to play. It looks really pretty, but that's it. There's no other reason to play that game. And I had thought that this next Pokemon game that was supposed to come out, this one, Sword and Shield, was supposed to be super hardcore for the fans. It was going to be challenging, and there was going to be reasons for veterans to want to play this game. And I don't see it. It doesn't seem like they've made any changes that people, like me, adult men, children, who've been playing Pokemon for a long time, there's no features that we want in it. There are cute features, and they've added features, of course, but it just seems like they didn't add anything anybody actually wanted. All these extra features weren't things we wanted. We just wanted a good, monster-based RPG with an interesting story. Like Nintendo. I know Nintendo can write a decent story, but they're so afraid with their major IPs, like Pokemon, Zelda, Mario. They're so afraid of doing anything that would upset anyone, like controversial-wise, that their shit is scrubbed clean of any personality. And it's a real shame, because I feel like if you were to give those IPs to indie devs, they would create some of the best games we've seen in generations. Like imagine what people like Toby Fox, or the guys who made Shovel Knight, or the guy who made Hollow Knight. Imagine what those people could do with those IPs. People who have a ton of ideas and who are willing to push the boundaries of what we know about these beloved characters. I want to see Link fighting life or death. I want to see him struggle. I don't want to see these characters be Mary Sue's anymore. I want Mario to fall on his face when he jumps. I want Link to get cuts and bruises and fall off his horse and have him be in real peril. I want him to really emote like he's really in danger. And I want Pokemon to give their gym leaders no less than 4 Pokemon and have them be higher level than what you would normally have. And make it challenging. Make it, you need to rely on strategy. You can't just bring a grass type to the water gym and just sweep with Mega Drain. I want these theories to be better, and I don't think I'm going to keep supporting them if they're not going to be better. I was genuinely surprised with 3 houses, and that's good. But I'm not surprised with this Pokemon game. It's just the same game. I would just be buying Sun and Moon again. And I'm not willing to do that. Especially not when, for someone like me, $60 isn't an inconsequential amount of money. It's a lot from someone like me. So, and I know there are other people who are like that as well. $60 is an investment, and you want to make sure you get enough out of that game. In my purchase of 3 houses, I know that I'm going to make my money. I'm going to get my money's worth because I'm planning to do all 4 routes and 100% this fucking game because I like it that much. But fuck this Pokemon game. It's just boring, and it's just clean. And some people like clean games, but I think it would be nice to see a little bit of grit come to the more popular Nintendo IPs. And it's probably not going to happen, but that's what I would like to see. And I know there are people who feel the same. Mostly people on Reddit, but I don't associate with those people. But still, the fact remains that until I see a positive change from Nintendo regarding their IPs, I'm probably going to stop buying those games because I don't want to keep buying the same game over and over again. And that's all I have time for tonight. I'm feeling tired. Once again, I just don't have the energy to sit here and babble on for much longer. But yeah, I hope anybody who watched this, even though I typically tell people to not watch these, enjoyed my thoughts on the matter. And I'll see you later.